After completing the second sudden trial, as I take a bite of the additional dessert which Il had ordered, Il's like, hell yeah! Well, no, he didn't say hell. Heaven yeah!
缶バッジとアクリルキーホルダーを私と彼女の2人分それぞれ上限ずつお願いします。
上限いっぱいですね。かしこまりました。
His casual manner of requesting was impressive.
すみません。
Beat it, bitch! What the fuck are you doing near us?
そのコースター、私が持っているキャラと交換してもらえますか？
No! Just kidding.
ぜひお願いします。こういう催しの参加経験は
Oh, he wanted to. Okay.
そちらから申し出があり助かりました。
Then, they'll bounce happily around with the different stations trading duplicates with other girls. Oh, sweet. Alright, get that complete set, sweetheart. If anything, I was thrilled that Il was enjoying his time at the cafe. Even for myself, there was merit to be found mingling with fans at such an event. It was a wonderful introduction to Otome. Of course, speaking of Otome games, I recalled our conversation earlier that day. By the way, Il, I overheard you discuss some kind of remastered game with Ignis this morning.
ことね、もしやあの作品に興味が？
I didn't say all that. I mean, yeah, you said it was the first Otome game you played after coming to the human world, right?
私が人間界に来て初めてプレイした乙女ゲームが近日リメイクにて再発売されるらしいのです。古いがゆえにソフトもハードも壊れダウンロード版も発売されず時代に取り残された悲しき名作。それが10年以上の時を経てまたプレイ可能になろうとは。これこそまさに奇跡。きっと私の原作への愛と祈りが天に届いた結果でしょう。はい、あの作品で私は愛の素晴らしさを知りました。司るテーマは汚れなき真実の愛。その響き自体が素晴らしい。あの作品こそが今の私を作り上げたのです。
Oh my, his tears are sparkly too. I got the impression from Il's heartfelt claim that the game left a huge mark on him.
やはり美しき愛を知るのに乙女ゲーム以上に参考になるものはありませんから。
Bipolar much? How the hell those face is dry of them tears, child. He just felt some sort of way as soon as he read the next line. Or said his next line.
思い出したら発売日が待ち遠しくなってきました。早くこの手に届かないものでしょうか。
I can tell you're excited. Still, love, huh? I wonder if we would feel that phenomenon with each other. Something tells me. I was hit with an anxious thought let me read that again. I was hit with anxious thoughts of my own. What was it about love that had so thoroughly entranced Il? Was he a romantic? My gut instinct told me that his fascination with the concept was more rooted in his love for Otome rather than romance itself. Since he was an angel, on top of being referred to as Cupid, it seemed like he liked love. He just liked love. Oh my god, I can read y'all, I promise. That seemed like the likeliest situation. In which case, what was the worth in questioning him about it? The more I discussed the game with him, however, the more interested I became. Not to mention, playing it would help me understand ill better. If it's so interesting, then maybe I should try it too.
本当ですか?
Yeah, lately I have some time and stamina to spare too. I hate you, bitch. I have like little to no stamina. I'm just barely hanging in there. I mentioned this to Il as I skipped to the menu's title info page, hoping to learn the hardware requirements. Okay, gamer girl Otome, I'm pretty sure that ragamuffin laptop you have in your room will run just fine with those Otome games. However, what could I do? It was far more expensive than I anticipated. What's tea? Girl, you got men with infinite fucking wealth. I think you can manage. I could ask Il if he would let me borrow it, or you can stop being a bum bitch and buy your own. But doing so likely meant less time for him to play it himself. I looked up, lost in thought. Il probably got 2 fucking systems, like the baller he is. And there he was, still beaming with joy, ready to continue talking about the game in great lengthy detail. Oh my. After everything I said, it seemed painful to admit my doubt in being able to afford it. I guess I need to save up some money. Girl, you not slick. I softly muttered under my breath so Il wouldn't hear me. Right, since they're random, we ended up with a ton of duplicates. But we can go again. The Otome Cafe is going to be open for a while, right? He's like, we can go again? Brain circuits frying off. Il began to blink his eyes at me when I posed the question. Yes, sweetheart. Sure, if our schedules align. I affirmed Il's hopes, causing his cheeks to relax.
あなたが来てからというもの、自由に楽しく外出ができるようになりました。もちろん今まで草案や港の外出も有意義ではありましたが、前回のイベントや今日のようなコラボカフェはなかなか来る機会もありませんでしたし。
I see. I'm happy if you're having fun, Il. We talked lively as we headed back to Enchante. At first glance, Il was acting fairly normally, no different from any other pedestrians. But I couldn't help myself from letting Ignis's warning drift back into my head as I looked at Il.
多少慣れてきたとはいえ、やっぱあいつは俺たちと比べてもいろいろと欠けてる部分が多いんだよ。どんな行動が人間にとっての異常になるか、何をしたらやばいのか、そういう部分の理解度が想定よりもはるかにできてね、マジモンの箱入りなんだ。俺たちが一緒でも1秒目を離したら大惨事なんてことざらなんだ。だから慣れてきたからって甘く見んなよ。
In these circumstances, Il wasn't outwardly causing any problems. and our simple outings went smoothly. Oh, fuck, not as smooth as that yawn. Considering Ill's carefree personality, sure, there were a number of things I needed to look out for, but yeah, it's nothing to worry. I mindlessly blurted out, I'm adding words. I mindless blurted, oh my god. You mean I mindlessly blurted out I'm adding out. I mindlessly blurted my thoughts aloud. That's what. As we I can read, y'all, I promise. As we approached a familiar park, Ill stopped walking.
ことね、公園で休憩にしませんか？歩いた距離から考えると少し疲労しているでしょ？
Aw, you worried about me? Huh? But don't you want to hurry back to your room to open your goods?
開封のタイミングで中身は変化しませんし、元よりあなたの体力より優先することではありませんよ。
Thank you, Ill. That's sweet. He smiled gently as he made his suggestion. True, just as he said, my legs felt a bit sore. I see. In that case, would it be okay to accept your offer? Ill and I found ourselves a nearby bench, upon which we sat to take in the sights. Time slowly passed. The bustle of town echoed from the distance, along with lively voices of children. Combined with the fair weather and my fatigue, naturally. Oh, sweetheart, I wish I could yawn on command, but y'all, shit, I done used up my yawn tokens for now. A yawn spontaneously welled up from within. Whenever sleepy thoughts entered my head, oftentimes that would be it. I started to nod off to sleep.
ことね、そのまま私に身を預けて寝ても構いませんよ。
Okay.
日が落ちる前には声をかけますから。
At Ill's gentle prompting, my field of vision dimmed further and further. My cheeks leaned over and I touched it, and excuse me, my cheek leaned over, and I keep putting words in where they don't belong. My cheek leaned over and touched his shoulder, and just before I passed out. Okay. Okay, sling me to sleep. Shit. Sing me to sleep, my love. What the fuck was that? That wasn't him singing. That was just a random sound effect. That was fucking early 2000s or late 90s Macintosh powering up. What the fuck? From Ill's throat, a clear and beautiful singing voice spread throughout the park. It lured me into a world of slumber. As my thoughts began to dull, my field cut in and out. Why was I here? What was I doing? Unable to find the answer, my consciousness flittered between the light and darkness.
Oh yeah. 目が覚めましたか? ことね.
A soft-spoken voice lifted me from my heavy slumber. Ah. Thank you, Ill. I think I dozed off for too long. Right? Or so I was about to ask. What the fuck? Within my field of sight, there were several people collapsed to the ground. I was dumbstruck. What? What's going on? Or, what's going on? Oh, stomach, don't you start now. Shut up. Right before our eyes, men and women fainted throughout the park. But his song is that damn deadly? It be knocking people out like NyQuil? Golly. Oh my god. The old man sitting on the bench next to us hunched over like he had gone limp with closed eyes. Yip, yip, yip. That wasn't all. Oh, shit. Not the animals, too, child. Okay, Disney princess. Even dogs that were being walked and birds which moments earlier chirped in the trees had fallen to the ground. In other words, for some odd... there I go adding words again. For some reason, every person and animal within the park lost consciousness. A bizarre situation, to put it lightly. This is bad. We need to call an ambulance. I hurriedly pulled out my smartphone to make the call, but...
必要ありませんよ。彼らは単に眠っているだけです。
Who? Huh? Bill nonchalantly interrupted me. As he said, when I took a closer look at the unconscious people. Oh, yeah, I'm so going to be doing that when I finish chapter 1. I'll be knocked the fuck out. One was snoring away, resting comfortably with his tongue sticking out. Ill? I don't know why I did like that, but whatever. A cold sweat dripped down my back. Don't tell me this was...
はい、これは私の歌、口述の影響です。あなたがよく眠れるようにと行ったのですが、どうやら範囲内にいた彼らにも影響してしまったようですね。
You don't know how to like fine tune it for me to just hear it?
時間が経てば自然と目を覚ましますし、何も問題はないかと。
I screwed up! I was at my wit's end, ready to scream. Within no time? Wait, how long will that be?
そうですね。みんな耐性のない人間ですから、効果は3日ほど継続しますね。
That's practically a coma! Wow. That's fucked up. Then, from outside the park, people gathered in large numbers, noticing the mass of people who were rendered asleep. What should we do? Today's top story. An entire park has inexplicably fallen into a coma. I was beginning to see the headlines playing on future TV in the future. Order, Sasha, order. I was beginning to see the headlines playing on TV in the future. But I couldn't just leave these people in their current state, so I thought it best to call an ambulance. As I grabbed my smartphone out of my pocket, let me guess, Ignis and Canis, two familiar figures drew out from the crowd and began to approach us. Oh shit, never mind. Wrong two.
あっちゃー、術の気配から予想はしてたけど、やっぱりギルの仕業か。
Excuse me. Me's here. Ringo!
奇遇ですね。二人が共にいるとは珍しい。一緒にお出かけを。
そんなわけないでしょ。僕は完全な通りすがり。 ミシェルは君のやらかしに感づいてきたんだよ。
Rendo seemed a bit flustered. He motioned with his eyes toward us at Mizir, urging him to say something.
はいはい、言われなくても対応しますとも。ああ、君たち人間組は耳塞いでて。魔界名物ハーピーの鳴き声アラー
Oh
ム。
Lord.
スイッチオンでね。
Please don't blow up my microphone capture card. I do that bad enough, so I don't need the game to actually fuck up my mic settings and stuff. Harpy, a monster that appears in Greek mythology, also called Harpuia. I probably butchered that. Harpuia. Harpuia? The face and chest are of a human woman, but the rest of the body is a bird, including wings. They often appear in RPGs as an enemy. Good to know, I guess. As Rendo and I put our hands to our ears, I hope they didn't fuck up the mic. Ah! Even with my ears covered, the shrill voice pierced through my head. After several seconds, all the slumbering people and animals began to wake one by one in confusion.
とりあえずこんなもん。目撃者へのフォローは頼むよ、リンド。
OK。そっちはすでに手配済み。それより、まずはうちの打天使様にお説教だね。
It was taken by total surprise. I was about to say total surprise. All he could muster as a response was a troubled tilt of his head at Rendo. Lord have mercy. With the uproar in the park settled, we all managed to return to Enchante. However, Il sat poised in his chair with all the other regulars encircled around him. Rendo, too, was at the center, slamming his fist onto the table as he interrogated Il. Ooh, you must have did something serious. I'm thinking like, oh, it wasn't a big deal.
さて、イル。何か言いたいことはあるかい？
そうですね。あえて意見するのであれば。カリア、そこの計算は間違っています。今出した値は X ではなく Y の方へ代入するのが正解です。
え、マジで？ああ、これ引っ掛け問題か。助かった。ありがとう。
I miss my little coconut blue raspberry jelly bean, by the way. After receiving the instruction, Kadia, who was bent over in a seat a few tables over, ran his pen through his homework assignment.
そうじゃないでしょ。
先ほどからリンドはなぜそこまで憤っているのです？私はただ歌っていただけですが。公園で歌ってはいけないと、そのような諸注意を受けた記憶はありません。
Ill's lack of concern prompted Rendo to grab him angrily by the temples, forcing Ill to look up at him. With a look of indifference, Kanas cut into the conversation.
イル、まずはお前が歌った結果、引き起こされた事態を振り返ってみろ。
As instructed, Ill reflected back to that time.
聞けば昨今の人間は忙しさのあまり睡眠時間が不足し体調を崩しているとのこと。よって彼らは私の歌により短時間とはいえ質の良い睡眠が取れました。大変な善行と解釈しますがいかがでしょう。
He gazed back proudly, almost in a divine way. I get it.
それはそうなのか。
いや、ちげえだろ。
I saw Mesier straining a smile at this interaction, So I asked him a question. Mesier, does Ill's magic work whenever he sings? As I recall, time in which we did talk, but we walked in the coolness of the evening light. Ill was singing, which sprang forth a miracle of sorts. Shouldn't you have been falling asleep? But imagine falling asleep suspended in midair. Couldn't be me.
状況によりけりかな。今回は意識せずに歌ったからあんな形で周囲を巻き込んだけど、通常はちゃんと対象や範囲を指定して発動させるからそうそうこんなことは起きないよ。
I see. So this doesn't always happen. That's good. Well, maybe not good.
それと、イルの法術は決して歌が必須というわけではないようなのだがな。それでも、天使が法術を行使する上で、歌は重要な儀式となるようだな。より上質な効果を望む、もしくは大規模な術を使う、そういった場合に用いるらしい。
In other words, by performing a divine hymn, he strengthens his spell's powers. Angel Song, an important ritual for angels. By offering a song to heaven, they can be bestowed with increased magic power or other desired effects. What a thought-provoking concept.
この国の神社や祭りでも神に恵みを祈り舞が捧げられるでしょ。あれと似たような感じなのかもね。
Ah, I get it. I don't get it. I'm just kidding. Wait, what the hell? It just fucking disappeared. Am I high or did I notice that? Wait, if it was a prayer, does that mean Ill had prayed for me to rest, which resulted in his powerful lullaby? Put simply, the cause of the disturbance was my own existence? I became dizzy with anticipation and began to sweat bullets in my head.
ともかくさ、今回も後処理はどうにでもしておくけど、イルは周囲への影響を考えて動くこと。
このやりとりも何回目だろうね。
同様の質問であれば 私がアンシャンテに来てから計37回ほど経験していますね。
そこを覚えてるんならその先を学習しろっつうの。
まったくだな。
Before I knew it, the cafe's usual calm atmosphere was disturbed. Huh? Everyone, wait a second. Are you already done with this conversation? Well, Ignis sure is done. Everyone gave me a puzzled tilt of the head in response to my question and blinked curiously. Yep, excuse me. I know things thankfully worked out, but a lot of people were involved. Maybe you should get ill to understand a little more about how dangerous it could have been. You know, like, shouldn't you explain it a little more to him? I turned my gaze once again to Il, the one at the center of this. His eyes were closed as he was lost in song. Oh no, come on. Fuck. Well, I'm not gonna scold him. There was no mistaking it. He had no idea how dangerous that situation could have been. Not the slightest grasp. We're gonna explain it to him. I'm not gonna scold him. That'll be for the bad run route, hopefully, if I hit it right. Just because it worked out in the end, I don't think we can leave it here. Just because it worked out in the end, I don't think we can leave it there. He needs to know why you were scolding him and why his actions were problematic. We should explain it thoroughly and talk about it in specifics until Il understands.
具体的な説明。なるほど。確かにそれがあれば、私も対策のしようがあるかもしれません。
Surprisingly, Il responded affirmatively to my suggestion. Yeah, we're not gonna scold him. Not gonna scold our fallen pretty boy. I cleared my throat and took a breath. With everyone's effort, we could make sure that no matter what Il does, we can trust him to make the right call. However, we shouldn't miss an opportunity to teach him, not without our help. Il needs to be able to think and make decisions for himself. We should encourage that. After all, in the end, the one to face the consequences and suffer will be Il himself. Honestly speaking, my guess is that Il will write this off as only being prohibited from singing in the park. I began to explain in great detail. Yes, the fuck you are, Katone. Holy shit. Everyone had a surprised look on their face, but they seemed to understand.
それはまあ確かに。
人外だから、天使だから、イルだから。そんな風に考えてしまって、僕たちで対応するのが前提だったのかも。
言われてみりゃそうだよな。てめえ自身が理解しないから何度でも同じことをやっちまう。
Oh, that's one way of putting it.
ここで過ごす中での常識に我らは甘えていたのかもしれんな。
Even so, despite saying that, it occurred to me that changing Il's pattern of thought would be quite the challenge. Yeah. Old habits are hard to break, that's the adage. For now, I decided to explain to him about this specific disturbance. Il?
はい、何でしょうか。
While it's true that humans value their sleep, It wouldn't be safe for someone to suddenly pass out, then maybe bump their head on the ground, right? That would be dangerous. So going forward, I would appreciate if you took that into consideration. Would that explanation suffice? What exactly did his silence mean? Normally, Il was all smiles. So when he became stone-faced, I had no idea what he was thinking.
なるほど。人間の脆さを失念していました。確かにそれは危険なことですね。わかりました。以後外で催眠系の術を使うのは控えることにします。
Progress? Okay, that's right. Excellent. He grasped what I was telling him. Ignis is like, bullshit. With a sense of relief, I stretched out my arms. Ah, bitch, I thought you were gonna give him a hug. After which Ignis said something with a yawn. Boy, we are yawning in this route. What's tea? All of us. Katone, Ignis, myself, a lot.
ま、解決したならいいけどよ。今朝俺が言った言葉の意味、嫌っつうほど分かったろ。
Yeah, you were right. Too right, almost. Maybe we need to reassess things. It was really fortunate that no one got hurt. Just sheer good luck. Damn, excuse me. But it hurt. Or, what the fuck? But if our fortunes turned. For now, it was nothing more than a what-if scenario. But still, it came to mind. While thinking such things, I went to Rindo and bowed at him silently. Slightly, shit. I'm sorry about this, Rindo. I'm sure it takes a lot of work to mobilize GPM.
ああ、いや、いいんだよ。実際君の言う通り、僕も注意を適当に済ませてたところがあったし。
No, I was the careless one here, or so it seems. But without even going that far, GPM is a government organization, so we can't keep bugging them. As I was deep in conversation with Rindo, I overheard a conversation that was going on concurrently behind me.
なぜ私のことで琴音が謝罪をするのでしょうか。
そりゃ監督責任ってやつだろ。お前の世間知らずを承知で連れ出したんだからな。
Ew, Ignis. Come on, lay off with the third degree. Oh my gosh.